Anything you'd like to tell me?
Not yet. You see, I read detective stories. And a good detective will take the time to gather evidence and question everyone before solving a case. Because the murderer is never the one you initially suspect. Magda is ready for you now.
Magda?
She doesn't like me calling her Mummy. She says it ages her.
There's no place like home. Our issues are all wrong. Much too frivolous for the occasion. I apologize, Mr. Hayward. Oh, God. I drank far too much claret last night. Gives me headaches. Burgundy suits me so much better.
Perhaps you should take an aspirin.
Aspirin.
Hair of the dog, darling. Pure evil with evil. And what about you?
It's a little early for me, I think.
You're cute.
Wait till you have 3 children.
So, you're an actress?
Clearly, you've never set foot in a theatre, otherwise you'd know my work.
I must admit I am more of a cinema enthusiast.
I see. Never cared much for the movies myself. Although I do have a superb script. My husband wrote it for me. Exposure. His first work of fiction, full of passion. The lead character, moi, is a wonderfully dark part. I know they say I should always play comedy because of my nose. Well, I suppose this murder would give us a lot of advance publicity and...
Do go on.
Is any of this really of any importance? I mean, after all, we have our very own Ruth Ellis right under this roof.
Ruth Ellis shot her lover, not her husband.
Well, either way, she was hanged for it. And rightly so.
But are you saying you'd like to see Brenda Leonides hanged?
You are twisting my words.
Yes, well, perhaps I should have a word with your husband.
He's in the library.
Thank you so much for your time.
Is that all?
For today, yes.
Good. I'm starving.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Charles, let me introduce you to my father, Philip Leonidas.
It is a pleasure to meet you, sir. Charles Hayward.
I knew Hayward once. Assistant Commissioner of Scotland Yard, something of a legend in the force.
My father.
Did rather well for himself until he was murdered. And they never found out who did it.
No.
Not much of a recommendation.
Father.
Mr. Leonides, as disagreeable as you may find my visit to be, I can guarantee that it'll pale in comparison to what's in store for you should the police decide to come around again.
Can you make an effort now, please, for me?
Seems my lovely Sophia is upset. We must reach some sort of accommodation, Mr. Hayward.
Are you suggesting that we let the roll of the die decide for us?
It will determine whether or not we continue this conversation. Pick a number.
Will you two please stop
Mr.
it?
Leonides, please.
I'll assign you 4. Of course, the odds are against you. And I'm not going to answer your questions anyway.
Oh, that would be very bad form, sir.
You think some illegal pressure from some little man at Scotland Yard is going to make me talk to you?
I do. Yes. Because that little man and I are trying to do you a favour, sir.
Ah, the little notebook, of course. Jot away.
You are the eldest son.
I am.
And how long have you lived here?
10 years ago, I lost a poker game to the wrong people. My father used it as an opportunity to keep me on a leash. That's what drove us here, along with 1 or 2 bombs.
My father's referring to some of my mother's plays, which were less than successful.
Yes, so you wrote a screenplay.
I am an historian. I write on medieval art and literature. This screenplay of my wife's is a one-off. She and I live for the arts.
So you play no part in your father's business operations?
Uncle Roger runs Associated Catering, my grandfather's flagship company.
Yes, my little brother is the man, despite